Greetings everyone, I'm Prince B, and today we're doing something a little different. Today we're unboxing, or rather just like opening, some, well, you already saw from the thumbnail, these little Gashapon figures of the Earthbound main party members besides Ness. From Japan that came out to celebrate Mother 2, or Earthbound in the US, his 20th anniversary, which I think was like 2 years ago. Yeah, here we've got Paula. We got the other ones in here somewhere. Pooh. And the Great Jeff. So yeah, we already started with Paula. But yeah, I just thought this would be a cool little thing. I really wanted to get these because, I mean, anyone knows I really like Earthbound, particularly Mother 3. Do prefer that to Earthbound, or Earthbound Beginnings, as we call it in the US. Do have a preference for Mother 3, but I do still really enjoy Earthbound. I mean, I enjoyed it enough that I went through and got the ultimate weapons or all the like rare drops and everything for all the characters, including 3-star pendants, which, as anyone who knows those drop rates can tell you, can get kind of ridiculous. They're like 1/128. Doesn't sound that rare compared to something like a shiny Pokemon, but it's just really annoying because, remember, you have to defeat the enemies to get it. You can't just like run from battles or anything. So it is a little more time consuming. I think I spent like 4 or 5 days off and on trying to just get star pendants alone, not even counting things like the Gutsy Bat, which took me another day. The Sword of Kings, which on my first Earthbound run I did get, and that was the only rare item I actually like farmed for. And that still took me like a whole night to get. Like, I started at 8 and I got it like sometime like 6 in the morning or something. Something ridiculous. Sometimes RNG just really hates you. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this. Yeah, here are the little stands. Mother 2. Really wanted something like these figures for Mother 3 with like Kumatora, Boney, Duster. Even just those 3, and maybe like, I don't know, Salsa or something would have been really cool, but alas, I've had no such luck finding anything like that. But this is still cool. You get the main party members from at least Earthbound. We do have to attach them onto the base ourselves. But yeah, for those who don't know Gashapon, those are just like the little capsule machines. Like, we have them in like grocery stores here. Usually they have really cheap stuff that no one actually wants. But over in Japan, apparently they get really cool things like Earthbound figures. Just in those little capsule machines. And I'm sad. But let's go ahead and stick her on there. Just make sure she's on. There we go. And here's Paula. Go ahead and take a quick look at these as we go through. Gotta say, for considering these were like from a cheap capsule machine, obviously I don't know how much the price of these were in the capsule machine, but I can only assume they're cheaper than just going into a store and buying a boxed figure. It's actually really good. Made out of like a, I don't know, like a kind of a vinyl-y material. They kind of remind me in terms of texture of like the Funko Pops. And I'm gonna use Ness, as is obviously the correct choice. A little smaller than Ness's amiibo, both in terms of just figure size. Actually, they're pretty comparable. Yeah, she's still a little smaller, but about the same size as amiibo in figure size, and her base is actually slightly larger in like diameter, but not as thick. So that gives you a little size comparison. But yeah, something kind of feels like a Funko Pop in terms of like actual what it's made of. Not exactly sure what it's made of, but that's the closest thing that comes to my mind. Uh, but I mean, yeah, for what it is and the fact that it came from a little capsule toy machine, uh, it looks really like high quality. Actually, like I mean, Earthbound characters aren't known for their intricate Final Fantasy Fire Emblem style details. But I mean, you've got the little bow. It's all painted. There's no like paint bleeding on that. She's holding the little suitcase. I mean, as all figures seem to do, they have problems getting the hand painted, and there's some of the paint from her hand bleeding onto the suitcase handle and the suitcase itself. Or well, it's just a bag. I don't know why I'm calling it a suitcase, but uh, you get the idea. Uh, but I mean, other than that, it's really good. I've got to say that I'm actually really pleased with this. And of course, you got the cute little hair ribbon up there. Uh, yeah, Paula looks really good. We'll just go ahead and go through the others real quick. We'll just go in order of when you recruit them. Yeah, so I got all three of these and someone for next video. Here, we can actually open. I mean, I guess if I say that, you can already tell that it's who it is. Because I'm gonna say right now, I was looking at Ness. Wasn't necessarily gonna buy him because I already have the Ness amiibo. And these were decently pricey since you had to buy them on the secondary market. But yeah, I didn't find any of these Nesses from the Gashapon. There were a bunch of listings for like Ness amiibo and slightly like higher quality boxed Ness figures, but none of the Gashapon toys. So it's a good thing that we've got Ness's figure because, or Ness's amiibo, because otherwise we'd have the three characters, and obviously Mr. Saturn is next week's vid. We'd have all of them, but not the main protagonist, which would be sad. Yeah, we'll go ahead and speed this up a little. Get Jeff out here. And, yeah, and the only other thing is I would have liked, in terms of just, like, Earthbound characters, I would have really liked, Pokey, or Porky, depending on how you want to pronounce it, as a character. That would have been really cool, too. And just having some troubles aligning Jeff here. There he goes. There he is. And Jeff, he's a little slow to get going. I mean, one of the things that I find kind of annoying, I mean, it makes sense from a gameplay standpoint that they all start at, like, level 1, but then, like, if you get, like, Pooh is just, like, actually, Pooh, I think, is the weird exception where he starts, like, level, like, 20-ish or something, but they start out drastically lower than what your party should be at the time you recruit them. And I did an old Earthbound Beginnings Let's Play. Still might go back and finish that, but it was just that was probably my biggest problem with that game, was just like it was so unbearable. Every time you got a new character, you had to grind them up, get them to match your party level, and the most obvious counterpart for Jeff would be Lloyd from Earthbound Beginnings. Whereas I made fun of Lloyd constantly for how terrible he was. Jeff is just like a beast. As soon as you get him like to a decent level, Jeff starts really pulling his weight. But yeah, here we have Jeff. Looks really good. One thing is that it looks like they didn't fully finish painting his hand for inside his glove or pocket. Like half his hand is like green. I think that probably should have been painted, but I don't know, maybe that's the way it's supposed to look. Holding his gun. Looks really good. That is just a weird color for a suit, though, if you ask me. Or a uniform, I guess. Because I think that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a boarding school uniform. But yeah. And that's actually, I don't know. The thing about, here we have Pooh. Pooh is, in my opinion, like the least useful, or, well, I don't know. He's the least powerful of your Earthbound party members in terms of raw power, but he's also like the most flexible because he's got decent offense. If you can get him the Sword of Kings or whatever, which again is a rare drop. You don't get it just like from playing the game. But he's got a decent array of offensive side, like not as much as Paula, but still a good amount. And he's got the healing side like Ness. He just kind of is like all over the place. Oh, I guess he's like a Nendoroid, I guess. Or just stick this into his back. But yeah, that was my problem with Pooh. He just didn't really... He felt like kind of a jack-of-all-trades character, but wasn't really great at any of them. Kind of like Boney... Well, I mean, that's not a direct thing, but Boney kind of had just kind of... He wasn't, like, particularly skilled at anything, but he was, like, super fast. Pooh reminds me of that, where he doesn't have anything he's particularly great at, but he can kind of just fill any role. But here he is. I mean, there's not too much more to say. Still looks good, really good quality. I mean, I can't really say anything really. Hopefully there's no paint bleeding because there's not a lot of different colors or anything on there. But it looks good from what I can see. Yeah, I've got to say, overall, these are, again, bearing in mind they're capsule toys and not like expensive Figmas or anything, really good quality. Okay, there's one little thing. It looks like they got a little white paint on his little belt there. But other than that, still looks really good. Just go ahead and take these off, and here they are. Get the main four up there, and Luke's in the back. So yeah, that's the first of the Earthbound little Gashapon toys. Next week is Mr. Saturn. Just wanted to do him off on his own, because, I mean, here it kind of makes sense. They're all, actually, they're in the wrong order. These are all, like, your party members, and Mr. Saturn's not really a party member. So I thought I'd do him off separately. But we'll get to him next week. Thank you for watching, as always. And I'll see you guys next time with Mr. Saturn. This is Prince B signing out.